Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Too Good to Be True podcast. I'm your host, Pascal Mayala. Today, I don't have that much topic today about this subject that I want to talk about. But other than this subject, we'll talk about. I'm not gonna do that long on this podcast because I had to revise for my exam and I have to be very very focused. But it doesn't mean that I don't have time for all my fans who watching it or listening on the podcast or watching this on YouTube. But I'm here right now, so I'm not gonna do that long. So let's get right to it. But before that I give my topic, make sure to listen to this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts, or you can watch this on my YouTube channel visually. And don't forget to leave your comment on the video, notify, subscribe, leave your comment also in the community, and make sure to like this video. And let's get right to it. So, uh, yesterday, actually, yeah, uh, Thursday we had a Thursday night football between the 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. Good win for the Rams. Um, it was 12-6, 12-6. And a great win for the Rams. So let's watch the scoreboard right now. So I will probably disappear. You can see right now, uh, 12-6 for the Rams. So congratulations. Now they're pretty much in the hunt. I believe in the between the hunt or the wild card. It depends on if the Cardinal win the game. If they do lose, that means and the Rams will be in a wild card spot. So let's read the stats right now. So Matthew Stafford had 60 completion, 27 attempts through 160 yards, no touchdown. Compared to Brock Purdy, he had 14 completion, 31 attempts, 142 yards, one interception. He got three sacks. Uh, Cam, Karen Karen Williams from the Rams at the running rushing had 29 carry and 108 yard and 10 long compared to Isaiah Guerrero who replacing uh, Christian McCaffrey has 16 carries, 57 yard, no touchdown. Uh, com- in the receiving, I mean, uh, Cooper Cup did not play, so maybe yeah he got pretty much injured. Um, Let me just put myself back on long shot a little bit. Um, but Puka Nakua has seven receiving, 97 yard, compared to George Kittle who have four receptions, 61 yard, 33 down, seven TGTS. Actually, both both team. I don't think I need to read the stats because both of them was pretty much an ugly game, and I just want to say this. I don't need to read the stat. I don't need to read the stat because that's one of those Thursday games that I mean this game is pretty much ugly. When I say ugly, not in a good way, but in a bad way, because it was raining. Yes, the rain did have an effect on this game, and there was not really much no touchdown actually on either team. So it was pretty much hard uh, to watch, and I had to spend time what is it, all my hours of my life to watching this game, especially when it rained out. It didn't. It rained on in San Francisco. So actually, I'm not saying San Francisco. I mean Santa Clara. I mean they don't play in San Francisco. Yeah, but uh, but that game was so ugly that that it was unwatchable. And let me just make me clear that I'm not saying that Thursday night football are not great, but there are some great games that happen on Thursday night football. So like the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that Thursday night football suck. It's just like if you see games like that, it pretty much you don't want to watch it. So the same thing that I felt, I think people felt it. Like it was pretty much an ugly game. But that's not the subject I want to talk about. I want to talk about what happened in the third quarter. So what happened during the third quarter? Um, if I can remember his name, if I can remember his name, yes, I'm gonna share. Yes, um, Campbell, linebacker of the 49er, left the third quarter. Uh, Third because he didn't want to play. They said that he didn't want to play according to the reports. So let's read it. The report very quickly, very much quickly. So so let's read this together. So De'Vondre Cambell will no longer be part of the 49ers moving forward after the veteran linebacker refused to enter the game in the third quarter on Thursday night, 12-6 loss to the Los Angeles Rams. Coach Kyle Shanahan made it clear Friday that the club was moving on. The exact step they take are still being considered. Sorry, my bad. We are working through the thematic and exactly how to deal with it. Shannon, that's what Shannon said. But you guys heard from me last night. You guys heard from our players. His action from the game is just not something you can do to your team or your teammate and still to expect to be part of our team. So we're working through exactly the semantic of it right now. But we will handle this situation appropriately. That's why Shanahan asked the following coach to confirm he did not expect Campbell to be with the club in the week 16 and beyond. So, so I don't want to read the rest. Actually, I'm gonna read the rest, but not the rest at all. So let's continue reading it because this is going to be very. This is what he said. No, I don't. Coach respond. Campbell lost Campbell lost his starting gig with the return of Dre Greenlaw to the lineup. When Greenlaw came out to the third quarter, Campbell, apparently disgruntled, refused to enter the game and left for the locker room. Given that the 31-year-old linebacker was specifically signed as a bridge until Greenlaw returned, it was surprising that Campbell would be upset about having his rep diminish. So let's continue reading this. Campbell was recently trashed by his teammate following the loss. So if you don't know, I will put the video, but I'm gonna let's read it. Then I will put the video. So look if you're on the roster and you stood up on your respective play, say 49 tight end George Kittle, who was unaware of the situation during the game. And I think anyone in this building that got asked to go in, I would say 100% of everybody would die to get on the field, football field. And so people are going through random thing off the field. I can't speak on that. Whatever his decision was, it wasn't for his organization. It wasn't for the team that's on him. So I'm not very happy about it. In one fashion or another, the 49ers are done with Campbell. The question is whether they outright release him, which could be what the linebacker desire, or the club has the ground to suspend him for his action. In 13 games with the Niners, Campbell made 12 starts, completing 179 tackles, three TFLs, and two pass defensive. So this is what that was said. So let's listen to the video. I'm gonna pretty much wait. I'm gonna pretty much put it put it put it on big screen. Let's listen to what George Kittle got to say, and then I will respond.
I didn't really hear anything about it until I got in the locker room, so it's all brand new information to me. Um, Look, if you're on the roster, you're expect and you suit up, expected to play. Um, I think anyone in this building got asked to go in. I would say 100% of everybody would die to get on that football field. And so, you know, people go through or going through random things off the field. I can't speak on that. Whatever his decision was, it wasn't for this organization. It wasn't for this team. And no, that's on him. So, um, not very happy about it. I would have something to say. I wish I would have heard about it on the field, but I didn't. Now, is that the reason we lost? Absolutely not. But you don't really. It's hard to win football games when someone doesn't want to play football, especially when you're suited up. It kind of puts you down, especially when you lose two linebackers, and could address another one.
That is what uh let me just put back the big screen. That is what George Kittle said on his teammate De'Vondre Cambell. I will say this, in my opinion, I did not like it at all. You know, you know, your teammate depends on you. Your teammate depends on you on playing on the field. I mean, even though you're not repping on the football field, you know that um people are willing to die to be on the field, even though you're a rookie or a veteran. You gotta learn that I got a responsibility to do, and that most of the time I'm not gonna get some rep, but I'm here to support my teammate, regardless of the win or or lost. We we are together. We are a teammate. Except that Devondre, I believe that's his name. I believe that's his name. Uh, uh, yeah, Devondre. Yeah, yeah, Devondre Campbell. Yeah, Devondre Campbell. You quit on the team on the third quarter. That is probably the most selfish thing I ever seen from a player. Actually, not selfish, not coward. Pretty much a punk move. I'll call it a punk move. You know, everybody in New York or any city, they call it a punk move. In my hometown of Ottawa, we call it a punk move either too. In my hometown of Ottawa, we call it also a punk move. That would do what Devondre did is a punk move. You quitting on your team, think about yourself, or and 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 not telling people. I mean, unexpectedly left the field and not coming back to help your teammate, even though the 49ers lost. But I don't think that was the reason they lost. But I'm here to support my team with the win or the loss. Even though that Greenlaw was coming back, at least you can support your teammate. Instead, you walked away in the third quarter. You were selfish enough to think about yourself and not think about the teammate. Everything George Kittle said, I have no problem. He's 100% right. He is 100% right what he said. And for that is very inexcusable. I'm sorry to say that. It's very inexcusable what he did. And that will harm him the rest of his life. Because I'm your teammate. We're a brotherhood. I mean, we need to support each other, whether it's a win or a loss. I don't care who you are. You don't do stuff like that because we depend on each other. We win together and we lose together. If you don't play, if you don't play, I'm fine with it. But what happened? It was pretty much a punk move. I'm sorry to say that. I don't know what to say. That's pretty much a punk move. You know what it remind me of? It remind me of Antonio Brown. And I do remember that he was playing against the. I remember they were playing against the Jets, and during the, I believe what is it, second or third quarter? I don't remember. He took off his jersey. He took off all this helmet and his shoulder pad, and he left the field. He left the field. He went back to the locker room. That is called a punk move, also. I don't know what was the situation between Antonio Brown, but he did not came back. He didn't came. He never come. He never couldn't come back, and that will also haunt Antonio Brown the rest of his life. Now, what the NFL is gonna do, I don't think. Actually, what the 49ers gonna do first, I don't think they're gonna release him personally. They're gonna suspend him. I think the NFL will suspend him, and maybe after the end of the season, because they're having a terrible season. They're 6-8 right now without Christian McCaffrey. Brendan Ayuk is injured. I believe Trent Williams injured. I mean, they have to suspend him. They don't have a choice. After the end of the season, they have to release him. That's the only solution I can give. So those kind of stuff, I do not like. A player quitting on his own team, and I hope that especially for a young player who's coming out of the league, you learn your lesson. You never quit on your team, regardless what the situation. So those are my um uh thought on the De'Vondre Campbell and the 49ers. Right now, they don't have a choice. They have to do it. So that's all I gotta say right now. And before I leave, I just wanna just I have a breaking news right now that uh Odell Beckham Jr. has been released from the Miami Dolphin. If you haven't seen the report, I don't need to I don't need to read everything, but I think everything for Beckham Jr. I think he needs another opportunity to play somewhere else, pretty much like a contender. Let's say like Pittsburgh Steelers or not Baltimore. He's already playing in Baltimore. Like the Chiefs, they need him, or maybe an NFC like the Commanders or the Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys will work, but or like not Detroit Lion, not Minnesota Viking, but somewhere in the AFC, in my opinion. So that's all I got for today. But if you enjoy watching this podcast, make sure to, like I said, watch it on my YouTube channel, Too Good to Be True podcast. Um, don't forget to subscribe, like, notify, leave your comment on the video, and leave your comment in the community that I post on sport news, on culture, media, culture, sneakers. Don't forget that to leave your comment or like uh, on those comments. And also make sure to listen to this podcast on my YouTube podcast like Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, any platform you can find. That being said, I would thank everybody for who listening to my podcast from around the world, whether in the United States, France, Canada, in Europe, or in Australia. Thank you very much for listening to my podcast. And now, and I'll see you next time. So, goodbye.